The film begins with Goreng regaining consciousness in cell number 48. Trimagasi lives with him. There is nothing here, just a lonely bed and a giant hole in the ceiling as well as in the floor, revealing the same people locked in an unknown place. The cellmate explains that the new month has just begun. They need to figure out what exactly they will eat, but he knows one thing for sure: the leftovers of those on top. One way or another, Goreng is trying to make friends, but Trimagasi asks to stay on his part of the cell, adding that he has been living here for quite a long time. His experience makes it clear that level 48 is good, but in a month, they will be transferred to a new sector. And now it's time for lunch. The man instantly eats everything that his hands can reach, until Goreng does not understand what is happening here and only takes one apple. And so the platform begins to descend. Trimagasi spits after him, arguing that the people above are doing the same thing. After a couple of minutes, the temperature begins to rise sharply, as there is a rule: you cannot take food with you. And Goreng immediately throws the apple away. Shortly before this, he had an interview where he had to sign a document. It said not to leave the building until the end of the contract. And Goreng signs. After that, each person was given a chance to take absolutely anything, and Goreng took with him the Book of Don Quixote. A new day comes. Goreng again does not eat anything while Trimagasi tells the story. One day he bought a knife, but the next day an advertisement appeared with a better knife, which is why he freaked out and threw the TV onto the street, which fell on a passerby. So he was given a choice: either he goes to a mental hospital or to a hole. That's how he appeared here. During all this time, Trimagasi managed to visit the 132nd floor. But this is not the worst thing, because there are much more of them. But even on his floor, there was not a single crumb of food. Although even in such crazy conditions you can live for a month. But if in the new month it is moved to a similar level, the worst will begin. Then Goreng asks the people below to eat less so that everyone can have at least a little snack, while Trimagasi demonstrates his taken item, a knife. Tomorrow, Goreng nevertheless decides to eat a little. Trimagasi adds that next month they will wake up in identical cells. Only now did Goreng realize how he managed to survive the lower sector. It's time for lunch, but this time there was a woman named Miharu sitting on the platform. Trimagasi asks not to notice her, since every month she goes downstairs in the desire to find her child. But before that, each time she eliminates her cellmate, thinking that in this way she will increase the chances of finding her son. People from below, seeing Miharu, try to grab her, dooming themselves to death. The day of the move arrives, but when Goreng woke up, it was simply impossible to move, because Trimagasi managed to tie him up, all because they ended up on the 171st floor, and cries of despair are heard throughout the building. After 8 days of fasting, Trimagasi cuts some food from Goreng, and no amount of asking to stop helps. Only Miharu, who arrives in time, kills the old man, after which he frees Goreng. Coming to his senses, he notices that his wounds have been treated, and so that he has strength, Miharu feeds him before heading to the floor below. When the new month arrived, Imogiri became his new cellmate, taking her dog with her. At the same time, it was she who conducted the interview with Goreng. They are located at level 33. She says that she had no idea that people were being eliminated here, but it is worth understanding that there would be enough food for everyone if people wanted to share. Then Goreng asks why they took Miharu's child, but Imogiri is sure that there cannot be a child among the participants. When a stove with food arrives, Imogiri skips the meal, because now it's her dog's turn. Along the way, she prepares a portion of food for the people below and asks them to eat only what is on the plate and prepare 2 portions for the next people, but nothing comes of it. Over the next few days, Imogiri tries to convince the people below, but they clearly don't care. Then Goreng takes matters into his own hands, declaring that if they do not follow the girl's request, then the next meal will be mixed with his feces. One day, Miharu comes down to their cell, and while the duo is trying to help her, the dog steals the food. The temperature in the room drops, but Goreng quickly catches the dog. That night, Goreng is awakened by furious screams, all because Miharu eliminated the dog. This deeply hurts Imogiri, and she no longer wants to eat. Even the next day, Imogiri spends lying on his bed. Tomorrow, Goring was waiting for the 202nd floor and the news that Imagiri had done the unthinkable. Not wanting to become like Trigomasi, Goring satisfies his hunger with the book he brought earlier, and a piece of the plate is used to count the days. True, he cannot restrain his hunger for long, and he starts lunch. In the new month, it is moved to the 6th floor. This time, his cellmate is Baharat, who has a rope. With her help, he wants to create a kind of ladder and climb to the very top. But he did not suspect that people did not want to cooperate with him, defecating on Baharat. So the rope falls to the very bottom, but they have a stove full of food. At night, the spirit of Trigomasi comes with good news. This month is the last for Goring, and he will finally be able to go free. Wanting to change the system, Goring asks Baharat for help. Tomorrow they need to climb onto the platform and go down to the very bottom, distributing an equal share of food to the residents. Baharat adds that he calculated the average travel time of the panel. Most likely there are 250 floors. A new day dawns, and the men dismantle the bed to use the iron beams as spears. Going down to the floor below, Goring reports that none of them will receive food as they ate yesterday. The first distribution will begin from the 50th floor, which is where the hunger strike begins. However, Baharat doesn't like this, because these people helped him last month. But as soon as the man starts arguing, Baharat takes Goring's side. A wise man was waiting for them on the 12th floor, who was sure that the administration did not care about their test. But perhaps the working class that serves the building will receive a message. A symbol needs to be invented. It becomes a plate of panna cotta. Anyone who does not want to cooperate with them is killed, allowing calm people to eat a portion of food. Sometime later, the duo comes across a living Miharu who is trying to fight off the other men. Seeing that she has no chance, the duo rushes to the rescue. One of the bandits turns out to have a katana that can easily cut the beam and wound Baharat. Only the duo was able to survive this brawl. After some time, the platform stops at the 333rd floor, which is clearly more than Baharat's calculations. And although at first they cannot understand why there is nothing here, the girl Molly crawls out from under the bed. This means that Miharu was not insane. Wanting to help, the duo gets off the platform, and it immediately sinks lower. Goring asks to throw out the panna cotta as soon as possible, but Baharat cannot do this because this is their symbol. But even after a couple of minutes, the temperature still did not change. Baharat gives the dessert to the girl without hesitation, so the trio continues to live on this level. Goring is visited by spirits every now and then. Even Baharat joins them, declaring that this girl is a message. Since that night he left this world. As the new day dawns, the duo decides to descend even lower, plunging into pitch darkness, but they still manage to reach the bottom. There, Trigomasi asks Goring to get off the platform as he is not the message. And as soon as he went down to the floor, the platform took off with incredible speed, rushing to the very top, and that's where the film ends. We'll see you soon. Bye.